night when you were with us, you had so much conviction when you said, I want my team to be different. What is that rooted in? Talk about that.
Well, I just think that there's so many people right now that have trouble staying focused on the task at hand and hold themselves accountable. Accountability, I'm going to bring it back into the Webster's Dictionary. And I feel like to be able to do that on a daily basis is different. And we're not there yet. That's going to be one of my goals.
The problem is that's a societal thing. You can't fight society, can you?
Look at the Sugar Bowl. Society sucks. So I don't have any interest in society. I mean, it is the things that I can do, the people I can touch. Unfortunately, until we start holding people accountable in society, those things, just a shame what's happened. I just feel sick about it. To be honest with you, it kind of ruined my day.
You were happy with the effort on Monday and joked about maybe practicing 8 p.m. New Year's Eve and 6 a.m.
Yeah, I went at 10. I got soft. But the truth of it is, I wasn't happy with the effort. I felt like we got casual with our passing, the turnovers. And if you look at what we did defensively and you take away like 5 turnovers for touchdowns, we probably did as good a job as we needed to do defensively. The turnovers, I watched the game last night in Boise. I watched a little bit of that. Turnovers made it so they didn't have a chance. I watched Michigan win. Turnovers made it so they did have a chance. Doesn't matter what sport you're in. It's all the same. You turn the ball over, we got 54 shots against them. That was one of our lows of the year. And that's because of turnovers. So, yeah, I think that focus needs to be handled. And if you look at the game, I think we had 7 guys with 2 turnovers. It wasn't like one guy had 4. Everybody had a couple. So that's where I thought we were a little casual. And in all fairness, things that I never, ever thought of. Now I get phone calls on, hey, you're 27-point favorites. Hey, you're this one. If I'm getting those, I can only imagine what our kids are getting. And if that's the case, I told them we got to stay focused on the job we have to do. We have to do the job we got to do at a higher level. And that's the only problem I had with the other day.
Beyond all that, what concerns you about Ohio State playing there?
Well, they're playing really good. I mean, they just beat Kentucky by 20. They're playing good. They lost a guard, and they've actually gotten a little better. The Mobley kid has taken over for Johnson, and maybe shoots it a little better. They've got a great guard. That's what concerns me because he hurt us last year. He's dynamite, and I think he's gonna. We match up good, and yet I think that'll be the challenge for us. Can we keep the guards out of the paint, stop their 3-point shooting, and that'll be the challenge.
How have they changed with Diebler and coach? How have they changed with Diebler?
I don't know if they've changed much. I mean, he's got his own style. I don't think they've changed much. They've just they got a point guard that's got another year of experience. I mean, that's his 3rd year now, and he's very strong. He's very good, and now he's got experience. The funny part is he's taking less shots this year than I think he took last year. He's taking 10 shots a game. For a Thornton, yeah, for a superstar, for a star for sure. And that's about as minimal as you can get. So he's only taking 10 shots a game, and he's averaging 17, 18 points. But it's kind of the straw that stirs the drink in a lot of ways, and kind of reminds me of Cassius. He doesn't have to take a different body type, but doesn't have to take a lot of shots to get a lot done.
You need a lot of guys turning the ball over. Is that decision making? Is it distractions?
Yeah, if I had that answer, I'd be a better coach right now. I don't think it's that they don't care. I just sometimes I think we're going a little too fast. I think that's Book's problem right now. He's not shooting the ball very well, but he shoots it so fast he barely touches it. It's going off. I think guys are trying to make decisions that maybe some of it's our fault. We're putting them in position, but it hasn't been bad up until the other day. 10 or 11, 2 turnovers a game. But last year we got down in the 9s some. If we get down in the 9s, I
lot better too.
But that's, I think we talked about that before the season too. Is like the turnover margin sometimes will go up when you have an accelerated pace of play that you have a lot going.
Yeah, it will. I just don't want to use it as an excuse, only because that's the way we play. And so we're playing that way all the time, so guys should get used to it. Now, it is different because Jeremy, didn't get to do that all the time. I mean, we have a lot of new bodies in there as far as in the roles they're in. It's not like Book wasn't here. It's not like Cohen wasn't here. It's not like like Chase is a new body, but Jackson. But they're in new. When I say positions, I don't mean positions of skill. I mean positions that now they're starting, or now they're more the vocal part of things, and they have to adjust to that. I have to adjust to that. We'll do a better job of that.
I don't want to jinx you, but your free throw shooting has been so much better than it seems to me in past years. That will win games in the Big Ten. How much was that an emphasis in the offseason?
Lots. I mean, for years I said it, and this summer I did something about it. I mean, we spent time. We spent time the night before every game. Guys that were bad, I mean, give Cooper a lot of credit. Give Cohen Carr. He's 16 of 18. He couldn't hit him. Can't say it on TV. I saw what's his name, Fine guy from Minnesota. He couldn't make one in the ocean. There we go. Polite way of saying it. But and those guys have worked on it. The only one that's struggling still is Shaman, and he's working on it morning, noon, and night. I think what's as important, Fred, is we're getting to the line more. And I think that's been really important. Over the years, teams have made more free throws than we've shot. Now, we've made more free throws than our opponents have shot. That's a big deal.
Looking forward to getting a better idea of your team, but others now in this next season.
Yeah, that next week or two, I think as these teams start playing each other, because, again, it's easy to say, well, Arizona played this team. I still think Kansas is very good, okay? But if you remember what I told you guys after that game, I didn't think, and we'll talk off the record here in a minute, but, you don't know how good those teams are until they play other teams too. I mean, it's been bizarre. Kentucky beats Kansas and Gonzaga, and then they go get beat by, or Duke and Gonzaga, then they go get beat by 20 by Ohio State. We got beat by 40 by Maryland.
Real home games too. A lot of these been neutral sites that make it weird. Now we go get some real.
The one thing with Frankie, you mentioned about getting to the free throw line. I talked to him about it after the game. Just how do you get a guy who's in a shooting slump to understand that there are other ways to have point production?
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's forcing threes. I just think he's not making it. And the scary thing is, I'll never forget Michael Jordan, Steve Smith, when Michael's camp, when Steve Smith comes around. They said whenever I was in a slump, I'd get to the free throw line. In a slump in a game, I'd get fouled, go to the free throw line because I was a great free throw shooter, make some free throws, get my cup. His free throws don't even touch the net, much less the rim. They don't even touch the net. And but he's just going through a little bit. He shot the ball better since he come back. Then he went 1 for 6 in the game. But I was happy the way he shot the ball when he came back. I think there's a little more confidence there, and that's what he's got to do.
I think he's like 60 free throws for the year.
Yeah, he's definitely been a big help to us getting free throws, getting more free throws, and he's rebounding the ball a little better than he did. And so he's been better, and it's been good for us.
2 threes in the last 2 games for Cohen. Not saying he's Steph Curry or anything like that, but how much more comfortable is he with his shot during games?
Well, I'll probably get emails from people wanting me to set up trees for him now. Thank God one of them's not his mom. She's real, and one of them's not Cohen. He's real. But I'm as proud of him as anybody. He's a very coachable kid. You tell him something, he does it. He works on it. He takes blame. Very, very coachable kid, and so good things should happen to him. He's learning how to work harder at it. But he has made some phenomenal improvement in his shooting and his whole offensive game. he turns it over a little bit more because we're trying to force him to catch and go with it. And so some of that, my fault. But I think as he gets better at it, he's going to be electric.
That shows up on the scouting report now. We hear too, like that a little bit too.
Yeah, you know, it starts to, at least people are going to say, not a great shooter, but he can make a three compared to stay inside the paint. So that's going to help him and help us.
A few weeks ago, you said one of the areas you want to see Jeremy Fraser go is that lockdown defense. Where do you measure his progress? It seemed like he did pretty well against Wells.
Yeah, he did really well against Wells. I mean, Jeremy gets frustrated because, like everybody, you want to score more, you know, and he can score more. His shooting has improved greatly from the three-point line. I still don't think he has the same swagger. Like today, he was dunking for the first time in a month. Now that means nothing to anybody except it tells me that he's either got his legs back or he's getting stronger. Because when he penetrates and shoots, you know, he's not getting the lift he used to get. So everybody's, no matter who you are, your offense helps you play better defense. I think, you know, he's been a little frustrated with that. I thought the last 5 minutes of that game, he pushed the ball and locked up better than he has all year. And we showed him on film, you know, I think he can get some baskets by pushing the ball better. This will be Thornton will be a good matchup for him because Jeremy's not as big or, you know, doesn't weigh as much, but he does have the strength to guard him. And I think he'll be excited about it. He likes challenges. So where's it at? It's definitely making progress. Is it where I think he'll be, or I think he would have been without the injury? No. But I think he's making significant progress.
You really get emails from fans telling you how to coach and make your team better?
You know, I get more letters.
Okay.
Yeah, I call them love letters. Remember those? Junior high school?
Way back when.
Yeah. But, yeah, people. But we don't need the people to do it because there's so many talking heads now that those people do it. But it's okay. I mean, you know, once in a while they are right. You know, once every
5 years.
maybe.
Chase has been really efficient. I mean, I know we've talked about him, the possibility of getting more shots, but is there something you want? I mean,
I told him today. You know, we got to do a better job. Okay, but he does have to do a better job of it too now. He's so unselfish. He's not looking for a shot. That was one thing I told him today, or since he came back, because we have to get him 8-9 shots a game. You know, and he is so efficient. I mean, his uppers are off the chart, and you know, playing time will continually grow, but it's not the playing time. It's him looking for a shot because he's so damn unselfish. He's got those catch and goes, and he's good at it. I think, I think you're going to see now. I mean, he was a freshman, but when you need Christmas for guys like that, I think he's a sophomore. And I think you're going to see the second half really blossom. He's a good player. Really good.
That lob to Xavier kind of an example of unselfishness and looking to get teammates going.
Yeah, you know, exactly. He could have scored that himself, you know, and that's what I love about him. But I do need him, because he shoots it so well, to have a little bit more of a scorer's mentality. And I got to help in that. He's got to help in that. We talked about it. We'll work together on it. I think you'll see improvements.
When you're playing in these tougher road games, would you say you lean on your depth a bit more? Or do you kind of roll with some of your go-to?
You know, I don't know. I mean, I never had this much depth, so it's new territory for me. But you got to rely on your toughness. So we're constantly trying to make our team tougher. You got to rely on your depth some, because you know, sometimes you get more foul trouble on the road. Sometimes more fatigued on the road, but I got enough guys that have played in enough games on the road or at home that I just think we got to play. You know, we got to play. We got to come and bring it. You know, we didn't really bring it the other day, and DJ's team had something to do with it, not because it's him, but we said going in, any team that rebounds like they rebound means his players are playing hard. We didn't rebound the first 2/3 of that game, which means our players weren't playing as hard.
Specifically, do you coach a player like this, unselfish, to be more selfish? Is it
It's really fun because usually I'm telling guys, dude, taking a shot that you shouldn't take, you know. With him, it's okay. And I feel comfortable because he makes really good decisions, you know. If he's open, he'll normally shoot it. But if it's the in-between ones, he could become more open. He could do a little bit more. And I'm trying to give him more freedom to do that. And I think he sees that, but at the same time, I think he, you know, that's who he's been all his life. He's been a guy that's been a very unselfish person. I want him to stay that way, but just become a little more selfish.
What do you think it comes from? Is that
Yeah, like I said, his mom coached him. And she coached him. She was, and I think Jason always said, you know, we believe in playing the right way. And I agree with that. Right now, the right way is he's the most efficient guy he got. So I got to give him more shots. That's simple.
Putting together a special on the Lions to prepare the game Sunday. I don't want to defy your Panther fandom, but you've dropped Dan Campbell's name a few times. I gotta believe in terms of team building, you admire what he's done.
I just love what he's done, you know. And you talk about a guy that doesn't care what anybody says. I mean, he went 4 out of 5 for 4th downs a couple weeks ago and failed all the time, you know. And then he went once the other night, didn't make it, came back and did. I mean, he believes in what he believes in, and that's what you got to do as a coach, you know. But let's face it, if more of those didn't, everybody'd be mad at them. But nobody sees, because they did, it might have won them 2 or 3 games. You know, they don't look at it the other way. And so, but I think what it does as a coach, it tells your team, I trust you, I believe in you. We're going to get this done, damn it. And he says it in way better words than that. And that's why I love the guy. Yes, I watch him. I watch his press conferences. Sometimes I'll run a few bites for my players. Yeah, it's awesome.
Does it diminish the coach in you? I mean, when you see a guy going maybe atypical decision making, do you kind of go, what are you doing? And then you see it happen.
You know, I did early. Yeah. I said, what are you doing? I mean, because it's just, nobody does that, you know? Then when I saw how it worked and how it didn't work, and then I started realizing his personality, his team's makeup, you know, he believes it, he sells it. And I think more important than anything, what you think, me think, we think, players believe in it. He believes in them, they believe in him. And I mean, I'll use the example when we started going 4 to the boards way back in the Teen and Charlie era. You know, that was, it wasn't normal. And I believe that we score more and we weren't very good offensively. And I believe that it would put more pressure on the defense. So teams that ran started having to come in. And so you don't understand what all the other factors would be. And I think he is he'd be a hell of a Youper, man. He could go down 100 feet into those mines, and I'm telling you, the rats would be coming out of there. He'd be still down there. He'd be a great Youper.
Beyond him, the fandom that you see, and other than one team, you like when fans are happy here. Have you seen what that's done for this state?
You know, I told Mariucci when he was going to take the job 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. I said, Steve, the one thing that I absolutely love about Detroit, remember now, baseball was good then, pretty good. Basketball was real good in the 90s, right? Hockey was unbelievable. Detroit, Michigan is a football town like no football town. They were packing the place when we were 5 and 12, 10, 11, whatever it was then. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's unbelievable. And I often said, if you could ever win here, I mean, now standing room only tickets, I could barely afford one. I had to call my banker. I mean, but I mean, that's the popularity. And I think some people are made, I think this thing's made for Pittsburgh, a blue collar guy in a town like Detroit, Michigan, with the workers that we've had, the people on the lines, the people in the car industry. I mean, I think he was a perfect fit, you know. And I'm happy because I said it all along, when our pro sports in our state, or any of us, are doing well, it helps our whole state. And Dan's been a treat to watch. His team's been, they've all taken on his personality. And the best one is your guy from Michigan, who's out, Hutchinson. I mean, you know, I bet if he was playing, it'd be 5 for 5, and he'd probably play fullback and get it done, because he just, those two, I'd like to see those two in a meeting. That ought to be a hell of a deal, man. But I love him. I think he's just great for, you know, if he was back, you know, I mean, we've had so many injuries and he's just handled it. So, yeah, big fan.